places that I'm like, you've got to, you just feel like if you just sat down there a while, something's coming along, so I'll say, I'm going to do it. And I'll sit down, I'll eat my sandwich, and then I'm thinking about, well, maybe if I go over there, I'll find another good spot. Next thing I know, I'm up and I'm gone. It ain't my nature. I don't have the patience for it. But if you're patient enough to sit around a little bit, it's a good way to break up the day. A little sitting, a little walking, yeah. And then if you get into these places, you don't, once you get in and find some places, you might spend the day in a half a mile or a mile area, right? Yeah. Any other question? Yeah.
Are you using just Onyx now, other than GPS?
Yeah, I don't even carry a GPS now. I use my phone because as I got older, I can't see the GPS screen. So with my phone, I can actually still read it without putting glasses on. So I have the Onyx in there, and I download that area that I'm going to hunt. You can go, because we don't have cell service much unless you're right in town. And you can download 5 or 10 square miles or something, and I just put it in there, and that's what I use. Yeah. And then you can mark your places just like a GPS. And I also just carry my phone now because I also have my inReach, which I don't turn on unless I'm going to send a message. So my phone is now my GPS. Yeah, that's it.
I used it for the first time this year with Kevin Harrison. It was great.
Yeah, and then you can, with my inReach, if I want to make a message, it's Bluetooth to the phone, so I can just go in my contacts on the phone and make a message, and it goes. It's a lot easier for me. Yeah. Anybody else got a question? Back there.
You were saying you plan a 10-mile loop. It's about 10 hours of hunting, so you're doing about a mile per hour, is that?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'm moving 2-3 miles an hour. Sometimes I'm moving, a half a mile in an hour. Depends. But I might not go 10 miles. If I get into some really good sign and I slow right and I'm keeping in the sign, hey, I might have a short day and do 5, right? I don't care the distance, but in my mind, I'm prepared to do that every day.
I'm just thinking about when you're not seeing signs of speed you're moving.
I might do 15 if I'm not seeing signs. That day I had my client Roger, and we found those 5 new signposts. We did 14 miles that day. But it was a long way to get back into that piece I wanted to look at. And then it was a long way out. I think we had a 4-mile walk to get back out of it. It was probably 3 miles in, so 7 miles of it, half of the time was getting in and getting out, So, yeah. Anybody else? Yeah?
You hunt in large tracts.
Yeah.
Tracts of land.
Big woods.
In the Adirondacks, you don't have a lot of large tracts of land.
The Adirondacks?
In terms of private property.
Oh, for private. Yeah, you're going to hunt on the...
What do you do for tactics for hunting 100-acre parcels?
I don't hunt there. Well, that's where you could do your... still hunting used to be defined when I used to read about it younger. You take a couple steps and you stand there 5 minutes and you look around. You take a couple... That's what you do in 100 acres. But you still need to figure out where the bucks are traveling. There'll be rubs and all that. Just keep yourself in the buck sign. Doesn't matter how big it is. It's just the smaller it is, the slower you have to go. Because we might walk through in the big woods, you could walk through a piece for a mile or two and not even hardly see much for sign or tracks. But so you've got to get through it to get to where you're going to find some sign. Because anywhere, I don't hunt way up north, but in my area, if you head into the woods anywhere, you drive down any gravel road, and if you walk straight in the woods for a couple of miles, you're going to find plenty of deer sign. You won't go that far without finding some kind of deer sign that you can get started on. Anybody else?
They migrated, right, Dave?
Yeah.
Use horns for rattling?
Wait.
You ever have to spend the night in the woods?
No. No. I like to sleep in my bed in my sleeping bag at night. Yeah. It used to be when I was younger, I didn't care if I walked out late. But what I found was, when you can't make any time trying to get out of the woods in the dark, especially on bare ground if you were still hunting, because everything's really dark. You know, at least if there's snow, it's brightened a little bit. It takes 4 times longer to get out of the woods. And then you're tired, and then you're not rested for the next day. It multiplies. So I want to be, nowadays, I like to be actually back to the truck at dark. If I'm a little late and I'm a half an hour walking down the road to get back, I don't care about that, but I got enough time in by then I'm tired enough, I'm done. Get back, get a good supper, night's sleep, ready to go again, you know. Somebody else said something about
I asked you if you use horns for rattling.
horns for rattling. I have. But since I don't want to sit around too much, I don't bother too much. I actually got a little, I think it's a Nightingale my wife gave me. It's actually pretty authentic sounding. It's a little contraption. It just goes together. It's plastic, hard plastic. So it's quiet in your pack, and you pull it apart and you flip it over, and it's like knuckles going against each other. And it actually, I had a guide, one of my guides that my wife had given them to for Christmas, said he rattled a couple in with it. He said it works great, you know. But you got to spend some time if you do that. And in the big woods, the rattling would work best when you get to them spots where there might be a buck, more likely to be a buck around. Because there's a lot of woods, it's like if you hear the tree fall in the woods, do you hear it? Because there ain't nothing around you that's ever going to hear it. But rattling does work. And I found over the years between the guides and the clients and all that, the second week seems to be the best week for rattling because it's just before the rut start, and I think they're like, it's more natural that there's vying for dominance and all of that.
How about the grunt call?
Grunt call works great. It all does. I know a lot of the guys now, talked to several of my buddies up there this year that shot their bucks. They were tracking them, but when they got into where they thought they were close, they grunted and either had them stop or came in or something or got them to move. Yeah, it all works. Nothing works all the time, but something works some of the time. Yeah.
What about elevation, like where are you finding most of your bigger bucks? 2/3 up or on the ridges?
It's not about the elevation as much as it's about the cover. Because typically, up our way, and it's probably similar here, you've got in the bottoms where it's low ground, you've got your spruce fir and cedar and all that, and then you get hardwood ridges and then green on the top. So unless I'm trying to get somewhere and the hardwoods is the best walking, I'm always hunting the edges, whether it's high or low, doesn't matter, because a lot of bucks will stay down in them creepy old swampy crap holes, but a lot of them will stay up behind the cuts and behind that stuff, and so I hunt up in there.
How about the scent cover?
Well, the wind blows 4 directions in a minute anyways up there. I don't think the only time I consider the wind is if I think I'm around a deer, and then I'm like, oof. Or if I get to one of them signposts and I'm gonna hang out a little bit. You always want to be mindful of the prevailing wind anywhere up north is out of the west or northwest or something. So you're mindful of it.
No,
But you
I'm
can
talking
usually
about-
stand there and it's like,
I'm talking about the shampoos and stuff they use to cover your scent.
oh, cover scents. Oh, okay, cover scents. If it makes you feel better about it, use it. Because I don't care what you got. If you're downwind of a buck, he's smelling you. Yep. No matter what you've washed with or anything. You can take precautions, and what I usually do is, like before the season, I take my woolies and I put them in a trash bag with cedar boughs in them. You can use fur or whatever you want to do, but I put them in the cedar boughs and kind of get that. But another reason I wear wool, I wear it because it's the best stuff, but wool actually doesn't carry or hold odors. It really doesn't. You can walk through a fire, stand in the smoke of a fire, and 15 minutes later you ain't going to smell it. It's gone. It naturally airs out. So I think by wearing wool, you got a better chance of not being winded. You wear the other synthetic fibers and stuff, and any scent that gets on that, it's staying there. I don't care if you got a scent lock jacket on, if odors get on the outside of it, they're gonna smell it. But with wool, it won't.
About the doe estrogen.
If you like it, use it. It all works. Everything works. And if I'm telling you, if something worked for you, you're gonna keep repeating it, right? It's like you got your best fishing lure in your box. And why is it the best one? Because you caught a couple fish on it, so you kept using it the most, right? And you use it the most, so it'll work the most, right? It's just how them things work. But anything works if you use it enough. You know, you keep trying things, it's gonna work. Anybody else? Geez, I must have covered it pretty good.